In this video, we will show you how to replace your combination switch. On this Honda Accord, this will be mounted right here. Let's get into it. All right, friend, let's get started on our job. To remove the combination switch from the steering column, we're going to have to remove this area here. Now, to remove this, you'll find that you have 3 Phillips head screws that come up from the bottom of this. Remove all 3 of those. There's one of our screws. We'll give it a quick inspection, make sure it is reusable, and set that aside. Now we'll make our way over here. Over there. We'll get this last one all the way towards the front of the steering column here. This one's a little bit different than the other 2. We'll continue on with a plastic trim tool so we can separate these 2 pieces. Just carefully get in between the 2 and gently pry them apart. Make my way along one side here. There's generally a couple clips that make their way across each side. I'll just carefully break it free. There's one side. This side pretty much broke free. It's the same exact thing. You can see you have several clips that make their way all the way around. With the top separated, carefully grab onto the lower aspect. We'll just give this a little tug and it should slide down. You don't necessarily need to fully remove this. Just bring it down far enough that you can gain access to your combination switch. Let's follow the wiring harness coming from the combination switch. You'll find it makes its way up and over the steering column and then over towards the passenger side. We'll be paying attention to this black connector. For this, you'll find that you have a small locking tab. We'll depress that and then carefully pull the wiring out and away. You want to make sure that you give both sides a quick inspection for corrosion. You want to take care of that if you see any. Now we can start working the wiring harness out from this area. Now, once you have the wiring harness out from over the top of the steering column, it's time to continue on to our 2 Phillips head screws that hold this in place. These will be found directly across the front area of the combination switch. To gain access to these with a Phillips head, go ahead and turn that steering wheel to the left until it lines up the larger hole along the top of the steering wheel so you can gain access. There's one of our mounting screws. There's the other. The 2 of these are the same. Take hold of the combination switch and give it a little tug out towards the driver's side. There it is, friend. All right, now we can get ready to install our brand new combination switch. We'll take this and put it in place, sliding it into the corresponding area on the steering column. Press it in until you hear a click. Give it a little wiggle, and then install both of those Phillips head screws. You want to make sure you start both of them in before you fully tighten either of them. Now we can continue on to our wiring harness. For this, we'll just take it, bring it back underneath the original wire that it was under, and then reconnect that electrical connector. Press it in, listen for a click, give that wiring a quick tug just to ensure that it is completely secured. Before you continue, it's a good idea to put the key in the on position and test the functionality of your combination switch. Assuming it works as it should, we'll continue on to putting the rest of the steering column together. Let's take this lower half of the clamshell and bring it up into the proper position. Once you have that in the proper place, we'll continue on with this piece right here. We'll start with the forward end, line everything up, and slide the two pieces together. Once you feel as though you have them together, continue underneath the steering column. You remember we had those 3 screws. The one that looks different than the other 2 would be the forward one. All right, friend, we have the car back together. At this point, you want to make sure that you set the steering column to the original position. Once you've done that, go ahead and lock it in and then take your vehicle for a road test. Thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.